Fired Pinay cancer patient exposes plight of HK's foreign maids. The case of a Filipina domestic worker in Hong Kong who was sacked after being diagnosed with cervical cancer, leaving her without health care, shines a light on the exploitation of tens of thousands of foreign women who toil as maids in the wealthy city. A single mother of 5, baby Jane Ellis was just 38 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer in January. Then came a new gut punch, a letter from her employers terminating her service, and with it any hope of getting her medical expenses covered under Hong Kong law. Reasons for termination, if any: diagnosed with cervical cancer, read the letter, which was seen by AFP. Ellis was floored. Her firing was likely illegal and she is launching a challenge. But once sacked, she instantly lost the right to healthcare, and had just 2 weeks to leave the city. "I want to finish my contract. Because I have 5 children, only me, I am a single mother," Ellis said, her voice breaking as tears ran down her face. Women like Ellis are the bedrock of Hong Kong's households. Nearly 370,000 domestic helpers work in the city, mostly poor women from the Philippines and Indonesia, often performing menial tasks for low wages while living in poor conditions. City authorities say the system is fair and that abuses are rare. But rights campaigners say domestic helpers are routinely exploited, with laws providing them little protection. Local rights group Justice Center Hong Kong estimates as many as 1 in 6 maids work in conditions that constitute forced labor. Last year, the U.S. State Department placed Hong Kong on par with Thailand and Afghanistan in its annual human trafficking rankings, partly because of the lack of protections offered to maids. Easily exploited. Experts say steep agency fees, a requirement for maids to live with their employers, a minimum monthly wage of just $575, and rules that require fired domestic workers to quickly depart the city leave maids acutely vulnerable to abusive or unscrupulous employers. Ellis spent just over a year working for a family of Pakistani origin who ordered her to perform tasks even on her 1 day off each week. She was routinely given stale leftovers to eat and slept on a thin comforter in a cluttered storeroom, she added. "My neighbor gave me noodles. She is very nice to me," she said. "Oh, what happened to your body? You are so delicate now, only 1 year you lost your weight," Ellis recalled. AFP reached out to her employer for comment, but she did not respond to phone calls and messages. In contrast, Ellis' sister Mary Ann was more fortunate. She landed a job with an American, Jessica Kutura, who has since taken Ellis in, helping her to fight her case and starting an online fundraising campaign to pay her medical bills, which has so far raised some $43,000. Kutura wrote on the campaign site that her family would happily employ her ourselves, but she cannot be hired under a new contract with an active advanced cancer diagnosis. "We have obtained support to pursue an extended visa while she fights her claim, but this visa will not allow her to access government-paid care." Prevalent discrimination. Ellis has filed a complaint with the Labor Department, and her visa extension has given her a temporary reprieve while she fights her case. the department told AFP it would provide appropriate assistance. She has also filed a complaint with the Equal Opportunities Commission, which declined to comment on the case but said it is unlawful to dismiss an employee on the grounds of their disability. There remains prevalent discrimination against employees who have to take leave for their disabilities or to undergo medical treatments, it added. Under Hong Kong law, employers must cover helpers' medical expenses and are advised to take out insurance. But Cynthia Abdentelez, General Manager of Mission for Migrant Workers, said ultimately it is the responsibility of the government to ensure migrant domestic workers have access to public health care regardless of employment status, because cases of wrongful termination are not uncommon. Mary Ann said she felt broken by her sister's plight and has sought to support her with her own earnings, which exceed the minimum wage. As Oz faces an uncertain future, racked by disease and fear, she hopes the authorities will stand up for women like her.